Alright guys, so here's another fanfiction idea, and this one is going to be a fun one. This is Randy Cunningham with Captain America. Something to celebrate the Memorial Day, I guess you could say. So this story is basically what it is. It actually takes place on Memorial Day. Randy and his family are going out to the local cemetery to visit the grave of Randy's grandfather, who was a veteran. In this story, Randy's grandfather was a soldier in World War II who he was dishonorably discharged, and Randy always took it as that was kind of like that was an insult. And even his father was like, he died like a fucking idiot. Like he basically got himself dishonorably discharged for doing something wrong. And Randy's like, so why are we even out here? And he's like, it's because it's your grandfather, whatever. It's tradition, I guess. We'll get to why that is, but for all intents and purposes, what had happened, as far as anyone knows, is that Randy's grandfather was a World War II soldier, but he disobeyed orders and got dishonorably discharged for. They never confirmed it, but they did say treason. Like, he was never, like, prosecuted or anything, but he was dishonorably discharged for treason, something he should have been shot for. And it was only because the courts just decided to just dishonorably discharge him, and he spent about 5 years in prison before finally coming back home. But he completely tarnished the Cunningham family after that. So while that's going on, someone has shown up at the grave to also pay their respects to Colonel Donnie Cunningham. So, or not Colonel, Lieutenant Donnie Cunningham. So that person who's visiting old Donnie's grave is Steve Rogers. And it's not like, oh, is that Captain America? No, they know it's Captain America. Like, Randy's like, holy shit, it's Captain America. Captain freaking America. He's not even in costume either. Everyone just knows how Steve Rogers looks like. Because Steve Rogers has a public identity. So they're like, holy shit, Captain America's at my grandfather's grave. And his father's like, just let it go, son. It's stupid. Like, it's stupid. He's probably here to, like, insult your grandfather or whatever. He's, like, if anyone knows a traitor, it's Captain America. And Steve, then at this point, Steve comes up to them and is like, hello, I'm sure you guys know who I am, but I thought it'd be kind of prudent to finally find old Donnie's, as he called him, as the boys called him, old Donnie's grave. It took me a while to find his grave, because they always told me he was in Arlington, but they never had it marked when he died. So I guess they just brought him back home. So, and they're like, yeah, we know my father's a traitor. Randy's dad's like, I know my dad's a traitor, so you don't have to go into too much details. Like, no, there's more to that. Unfortunately, by this point, there's a loud explosion that goes off in the city downtown that Randy hears as well and has to, like, sneak off to become the ninja. And Randy's like, and Steve himself is like, I should probably look into that. So Steve gets into his Captain America gear and heads out and finds a massive robot just tearing through the city. But it's a Mcfist robot, but it has Hydra tech. Like, it has the Hydra symbol on it. And he's like, just can't get away from him for a day, can I? So Captain America shows up. When Captain America arrives before Randy, like, the shield comes flying in, cuts off one of the robot's arms, and it returns to his hand. Everyone's like, Captain freaking America! And everyone in Norrisville is going crazy because it's Captain America. And when Randy smoke bombs in, he's like, smoke bomb, it's a ninja! Hello? Here to save you all. And then when he sees it's Captain America fighting the robot, he's like, I'll let this go, it's Captain America. So the ninja Randy, now as the ninja, jumps in to help fight this robot with Captain America, and he's like, dude, it's kind of awesome that I'm working with you, but I'm a little freaked. I'm freaking out a little. I'm, like, geeking out over the idea of meeting you. And he's like, oh, no, it's all right, son, but can we focus on the task at hand? So they destroy the robot, and Randy basically like rummages through the robot because he's like, I think there's more to it than, you know, it being like a typical Hydra robot. And he sees the Mcfist insignia and he's like, there it is. Of course. So Randy explains it's one of my enemies. He's the corporate businessman around here, and he's like, if he's behind all your robot attacks, Ninja, why don't you just prosecute him and get rid of him? You know, it seems kind of easy. He's like, oh yeah, I'm totally going to be able to find enough credible evidence to put away my arch enemy who literally has all of his fingers and all the economics in this town, and if I took him away, it'd literally kill this whole town. It's not as black and white as you think it is. And Cap goes, sometimes it can be. But in the meantime, even if we can't get to Mcfist, we can get to Hydra. I want to find out this connection, so are you with me, son? And he's like, Captain America just called me son. Are we teaming up? And he's like, I believe so. So Randy, of course, like calls Howard. He's like, dude, you won't believe who I'm teaming up with. And he's like, Spider-Man? Okay, Howard's like, wait, I saw you on the news. You're teaming up with Captain America? Would have been cool if it was the X-Men. But Randy's like, shut up, dude. It's fucking Captain America. You know, Captain America? I could do this all day. You know, that guy? So Howard's like, all right, get his autograph or whatever. Let him use or maybe you can use the shield or something. He's not going to let me use the shield, Howard. So the two team up and break into Mcfist Labs. And what they discover in the Mcfist HQ is that Mcfist is working with Baron von Strucker. And von Strucker is more or less using the material, like the endless technology that Mcfist has at his exposure to build new war machines for, like, new robots for Hydra, like a new form of Hydra attack robot, and they more or less were testing the robot out from the beginning. You know, that was the first prototype robot, and he's like, well, I knew Captain America showing up was a surprise, but hey, maybe this will prove to be in our favor. So Mcfist and von Strucker are attacked by Randy and Cap, and the two, Cap is just like, you know, Mr. Mcfist, I told the ninja here about how easy it is to convict someone. I think I just have enough evidence to prove that. He's like, and Mcfist immediately goes, no, I'm under I was kidnapped by von Strucker. He's making me do all this. Yeah, you can't have any plausible evidence that I'm willingly working with von Strucker. Yeah, I'm against my will. And Randy's like, fuck you, Mcfist. And at this point, von Strucker unleashes these new McHydra robots, as they're called. Like, Mcfist calls them McHydra robots. So these McHydra robots are like these huge, hulking, like dreadnought-like robots, and he just unleashes them on Randy and Cap. And during the I wanted to have this fun scene where during the fight, Cap loses the shield, Randy catches it and like uses a sword and a shield. He's like, "This is the greatest freaking day of my life." So by the end of it, Randy and Cap defeat the robots, and Strucker gets away, and unfortunately they can't get they can't touch Mcfist, but he is under investigation, even though it probably won't lead up to anything, because Mcfist can just claim I was kidnapped and forced against my will and held hostage by von Strucker. So by the end of it, after Randy like smoke bombs out of there, Cap actually returns to the Cunningham house. And he comes into the house and he's like, look, I wanted to say this earlier, but there was a reason, you know, I know the reason why what happened to your dad and why it was pretty much fucked up. More or less what had happened was Randy's grandfather was not just a soldier, he was a agent for the government. He was like a spy, but unfortunately his identity got leaked, It got he got exposed, and the Nazis went to had agents in Norrisville and kidnapped his family. Like, they were watching his family and said, we're gonna kill your family if you don't give us information. And for all intents and purposes, he said no at first. Like, he basically tried to refuse it, but the more like they would terrorize his family, the more it's like, one day we're just gonna pull the trigger, man. We're just gonna kill your family. So Randy's grandfather had to commit treason to protect his family. Now Cap only knows this because he was the one who caught Randy's grandfather and actually, like, convinced, after hearing the whole story, he's the one who convinced them not to kill him for treason. And that was the most he could do. So all this time he's been trying to track down, like, the Cunningham family and more or less try to rectify everything. He's like, why didn't you do this when you got out of the ice? He's like, Randy's like, why didn't you do this when you got out of the ice? And Cap goes, son, I'm a very busy person. There's a lot of, if it's not an alien invasion, it's a mad scientist. So there you go. And I wanted to have it end with Randy and the Cunningham saluting Cap and Cap saluting back. So there you go, guys. That is pretty much my Randy Cunningham Captain America story. You guys tell me in the comments below. What did you guys think of it? Like it, hate it, comment below, let me know. And once again, if you haven't already, hit the link below. Head on over to my Patreon. I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the Multiverse.